Hi there, welcome along. My name's Dan and this is the Heavy Metal Berserker channel. I've not been on for a little bit, must apologise about that. The Berserker's been ill. I was very ill actually. I've got a bit worried there for a bit, but hey, I'm back, I'm alright now. Not 100%, the old throat's still a bit bad, but you know, I'm back. So, we're doing a retro review today. If you're wondering why I got hats on, I've not had my hair cut. Bit of a mess. All right, so once I've got it cut, I'll take the hat off. Right, so retro review. Now then, this could be a bit of a controversial episode. I'm not sure. I'm about to go into something that I don't know a lot about, but that is why I decided to do it for this episode. Now, I'm not a connoisseur, as it would be, on black metal. So I decided to go back. This is the 1984 edition of Retro Review. And in 1984, there was a few albums that apparently were the first wave of black metal. Now then, this to me is completely new, an alien if you like. So I decided to go back and go into the album by Bathory and their debut album, Bathory, recorded in June 1984. It came out in October 1984. The label was Black Mark Records and Tyron. Now, Tyron I've looked into, and it's kind of like a Norwegian folk type label, but Cawthorn's dad was part of this, and he produced it as well. It just says the boss, but that's his dad, I think. So anyway, I've researched a lot on this. I got deep into this one because kind of like Fox Mulder would do. Season 4, I think. The one with the painting the devil and shit. Yeah, Fox Mulder. I've gone deep into this fucking thing. So, if you go onto YouTube or whatever, or if you go online, there's debates about the first black metal album, blah, blah, blah. Now, I put Bathory on, and the stuff I was reading was influenced by Venom, Celtic Frost, Hellhammer, King Diamond, Merciful Fate, right? So when I put Bathory on, I don't own it, hopefully soon, but so I listened to it digital, and I didn't hear Venom or Celtic Frost a teeny bit, Merciful Fate, apart from the corpse paint, not really. Cawthorn was... I went into some interviews with Cawthorn at the time. So, I was listening to Bathory. I've listened to it now about 20 odd fucking times. And I don't hear Venom or Celtic Frost really, or Merciful Fate, King Diamond. The impression I got was a very punky type situation with the riffing. So anyway, it's very primitive recording. It's evil sounding, and raw and fucking like proper primitive recording. He did have a couple of guys with him on this. Ricard Bergman on bass, and Stefan Larsson on drums. When it was released, they released 1,000 copies, and that sold out in weeks, apparently. So Ricard and Stefan left almost straight away, I think, from what I've read, after this album came out. So Cawthorne, bless him, was on his Todd from now, but I'm not 100% on that. But as far as I know, they kind of left after the record came out. So I delved into some interviews on this, and the way he got that sound was apparently the mic broke. So he was basically singing through a fucking pickup on a guitar. And he said that's how we got the sound of his voice, with his head up, screaming into the pickup of a guitar. Now, going back to the interviews with Cawthorne, he said that he didn't hear Venom till after he'd recorded this album. So all this Venom talk and that, I'm not so sure. But I do hear, before I delved into the interviews and stuff from the time, I listened to this a lot. And as I said, I was getting a punky vibe from the riffing and some of the drumming and stuff and bass. So in interviews, he references GBH, Exploited, and Motorhead. Now then. And he said the GBH album, City Baby Attacked by Rats, was a big influence, and Exploited, Troops of Tomorrow. Now, I went to listen to these albums, and then it started to make sense to me. The whole Bathory sound and stuff, the drums and everything. Members left straight after recording. I wrote that. So it's very raw, as I say. I mean, I'm not going to say a lot about the songs. Everybody knows who knows anyway. But Storm of Damnation, intro, gloomy, evil, lovely. Hades, fast, Motorheady type riff, fast drums and bass. It's the vocals, for me, that are mainly, that screams black metal to me. This guy, I think, invented. This is the first time, I think, you hear a black metal vocal. Now, I would say, this is my opinion. I'm just saying, guys. I know it's a thing that people might say, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. But hey, I'm not bothered. This is my opinion. So, song called Reaper, another fast one. Evil sound vocals again. Black metal vocals. Punky vibe again. And it just goes on through that album. Now, obviously, the lyrics, again, is a big influence on the black metal thing, because it's satanic and it's evil and shit like that. Even though later on he would come away from that and start doing the Viking thing. But the Winds of Mayhem is the outro, and that's kind of a mellow thingy. And again, with that atmosphere and stuff, yes, okay, it's black metal. But as I say, the Venom thing and all that doesn't make sense to me. To me, the Motorhead, GBH, Exploited, that does make sense. Now, obviously, the second wave of black metal gets more like your tremolos and stuff like that. There's a little bit of that on this, but our man Cawthorne died on the 3rd of June in 2004, apparently with heart problems. bless your son, because you have created a beast here. I'll give this album 5 out of 5 because of what it done. To me, I will say it, this is the first black metal album. 1984, Cawthorne Bathory is the first black metal album. All right, so that's done. It's a great album. Like I say, it's created a whole genre, and especially the vocal and especially the lyric matter, the words to the songs, the satanic, the evil stuff is definitely, this is the first black metal album. So, movies from 1984. What have I got here? I've got Ghostbusters. I've got Terminator. I've got the original Dune, which is fucking brilliant. Gremlins, again, brilliant. Coming up to Christmas. It's a fucking Christmas movie. Don't care what anyone says. What else have I wrote here? So the songs, Hades, Reaper, Necromancy. That's slower but evil, Necromancy. I love that. In Conspiracy with Satan, you know what I mean? These are the things that screams black metal to me. But like I say, Venom and Celtic Frost, and I mean Celtic Frost I've got to delve into. I've not really listened to a lot of their stuff. It's all new to me, like I say. The black metal thing, for some reason, has clicked with me this year. It sounds strange, but I learnt of my brother-in-law's death. And on that actual day, they had to send me home from work, and I was walking back in the dark. And for some reason, I couldn't tell you what album I was listening to, by who, but it was black metal, and it was atmospheric black metal, and it just fed me. And from then I've been delving into different things. I'm not a black metal expert. Hopefully I will become one. If anyone out there, the raw black metal, I do like that. I don't really know a lot of it. So in the comments, guys, if you know any, please stick in the comments. All right? Because I'm still learning. But Bathory, I'm going to get the vinyl. I have to. I think that's how you have to listen to this. And it's a 5 out of 5 record, purely because of the primitive, just like do-it-yourself situation and everything like that. It's a 5 out of 5 album. So that's my retro review for 1984, Bathory with Bathory. So that's a wrap, guys. I hope you've enjoyed my little delving into what I think this album is. Like and subscribe and all that business. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.